I want to talk about splits because today it's 65 degrees. You know, I've been feeding my bees pollen powder like this. I've had this out here all day long and I'm getting very little bees on it. Something has stopped my bees from eating this delicious pollen powder, and I'm going to show you what it is. I know you're dying to see what my shirt says. There you go. Hopefully you can read it all. Hey everybody, David Burns with you today. Got a problem. Got to talk to you about a problem that's going on with my bees. It's a good problem. I like to see these sort of problems happen. Look at this. I put these out a few weeks ago in my bee yard, and the bees loved all this protein powder that I put out there for them. They're all over it. Look at them, just all over it. They're swimming in it. They love it so much. But about a day or two ago, boom, they gave it up. I mean, there's a few bees on it, but they're not going there anymore. Hey guys, before we get into this pollen powder issue, let me just ask you to please subscribe. I appreciate it so much when you guys subscribe, and it helps me a lot when you give me a thumbs up down below the video. Please do that. I love you guys. I love making content for you. Now let's get back into this. Look at this, going into their hives, their pollen baskets are full of pollen. It's crazy. I see some yellow, some beige white, I see some green. All of these are from the various trees that are starting to bloom, like that green is from oak trees. And it's exciting to see it. That's why they're not going here much anymore, because they're going here. Take a look at this. I broke this off of my red maple tree that bees are all over. Take a moment and just enjoy watching bees landing and flying and working these male flowers on this maple tree. It turns out that my timing was perfect. I couldn't have timed it any better. I made a video 2 or 3 weeks ago for you guys. I gave you how to calculate the math so that you could know when to start feeding protein powder. You can know when to start feeding 1-to-1 sugar water to get your bees to start raising brood for when these maple trees start blooming, start making some protein and nectar. And we timed it out. But wow, are we way ahead, right? I think we got to back the clock up a few weeks earlier, but you just never know. But anyway, we did get a jump on it by putting that protein powder out in the fields and letting those bees go to those protein powders. Man, that pollen powder substitute, those bees got about 14 days jump on the season. Now that's really awesome for me. I'm excited about that. And I did start feeding them about 2 weeks ago 1-to-1 sugar water to stimulate some brood pattern as well. So all of this helped me get a couple of weeks head start for my bees. Not for me, but I was able to get my bees rolling out of winter with a good amount of brood that's going to help me start making splits. Now, I want to talk about splits because today it's 65 degrees. It's warm enough to go in there, pull brood out, look at it, and I'm going to be doing that. But, you know, I don't want to make a split yet, because it's only the first day of March. And in Illinois, we can have extreme, I've seen it snow, land on the ground, turn cold and snow pretty often in the months of March, but certainly I've even seen it far out as April. So to make a split now would just be a roll of the dice. It would be a crapshoot. And I kind of hate to do that. But again, we need to make sure we got good drones that can mate with my queens that are going to be flying out and getting mated if I make a split, so on. So it's just a little early. Everybody, you know, I know everybody feels like I do, like, gosh, we're getting an early spring, everything looks great. But there's no guarantee here where I live in Illinois that we're not going to have a cold snap that could really just set me back 2 weeks, and I've worked this hard to get ahead by 2 weeks. So I'm going to hold my course a little bit longer and watch the temperature. Let's face it, what if you go all the way through winter and you have a great success rate of your bees making it through winter, and you come out of winter into spring and yet your bees have issues in this whole swarming thing? Look, healthy bees are going to swarm. It's hard to prevent. If you're not on the ball, things can go poorly pretty quickly because bees can swarm. They fail to raise a new queen, and you're queenless. You can't buy a queen. Queens aren't really in production heavily yet, and you're kind of up against the wall. And so you need to know what to do, how to get this hive that made it through winter, that you really want it to be a great honey producer, or you're going to use it to raise some queens or something, or maybe just split it to make more hives. You've got to go the right direction right now, so you don't want to lose it now. You don't want to make it through winter and lose the darn thing in spring. So let's tread gingerly, and I'll guide you through this sort of sensitive time when you want these hives to reproduce and make more hives for you. I'm going to be speaking up in Kankakee, Illinois on Saturday. If you want to still come to Kankakee at the bee meeting, a lot of great speakers there, including myself. I'll be talking about feeding bees through the seasons. So that'd be a good talk. You can follow this email. I'll leave a link in the description, but here's an email if you want to still try to get in. It's $40 registration, and they may still have openings, but you can email them and ask them. I'd love to see you if you can make it. That's going to be this coming Saturday. Now, I have a lot more to say about making splits and swarm prevention, but mainly going to be talking about some splits, how to split your hives in my live stream this Thursday night, and that's going to be at 7 o'clock Central Time. And of course, we always have a great time. We have some giveaways planned for that evening as well for you guys. So be sure, if you want to have some live chats, some live streams, be sure and check that out. I'll leave a link in this description below where you can click on and join that live stream. Now, if you don't join the live stream, if something happens, you can always go back and watch it from my YouTube channel and see the whole thing. But I like it when you join me, because I love seeing you guys there live. You're able to chat with me through the chat, and that's a lot of fun, answering questions and just being involved in a community of beekeepers as well. I started live streaming for you guys, so don't disappoint me by not showing up. Because, you know, if they don't turn out where people aren't showing up, then there's no reason for me to do them. I want to do them for you. I want to do them for you being able to be with me and talk and share and exchange great ideas about beekeeping. So simply put, make it worth my while, and then join me this Thursday at 7. I got my calendar out and kind of looked through my notes and my journals, and I found that I spent 10 years, a whole decade, really realizing the best tips that I can do to have healthy bees. And I've made a video about what those 4 tips are that I've learned over 10 years. Now, if you don't want to watch that video, then you're going to spend 10 years figuring out what I figured out in 10 years. You can watch a video and figure it out in a few minutes, because I'm going to tell you. So don't waste 10 years. I've already done the work for you. Here's the video right here. 10 years equals these great 4 tips. Guys, I'll see you over there. All right, let's go. Let's all just follow this link right there.